Adam motioned for James and Maya to join the group. The others were checking their gear while standing slightly spread out. Mim looked to see James and Maya ready and said to the group, "We'll be heading in the same direction as yesterday." He pointed in the direction they would be traveling. There are signs of animals, so monsters shouldn't be an issue. But make sure to keep the appropriate level of attention to your surroundings. We don't know when the animals will detect indications of monsters being close, so the moment they leave, we need to be on alert, Mim reminded them. They all nodded at Mim's instructions. Even if they were familiar with the situation, each of them knew that not being in the right mindset would quickly lead them into a deadly situation. "We'll be in the same formation as yesterday," Mim said. Listening to the instructions, James followed after Kate, who'd be leading the group. Everyone else got into the proper formation. Up ahead, Celine headed off by herself to make sure that no dangers would surprise them. "I wonder what it's like to have to always be ahead of the group by yourself," James wondered out loud. Raoul looked to James. "My sister enjoys being by herself, so she actually doesn't mind being the scout. Being alone allows her to recharge herself, and she feels closer to nature." "I guess you'd need to have such a personality if you're going to be a scout." Kate looked back to Raoul. "I know that being by myself for nearly the entire day, every day, would start to get to me." "Compared to being a scout, I feel like your position might be something that many wouldn't want to be in," Raoul commented. "Your job is to take on the monsters so that the group can have enough time to deal with the threat. Depending on the group, adventurers such as yourself are more often the ones that die the first, or are abandoned by their companions." His voice indicated the respect he felt towards her for being willing to be in a dangerous situation for the benefit of others. With her face covered, only her nod indicated that she heard Raoul's words. "Fortunately, I've been part of James' group for nearly the entire time I've been an adventurer, and never once did I feel like I'd be abandoned." Laughing, she looked back towards James. "To be honest, it's more likely that you'd put yourself in a situation where you'd be the first one to be killed." Raoul's eyebrows lifted at Kate's comment as he turned his attention to James. With the focus turning to him, James appreciated the helmet that covered most of his face. "I just feel like it's important to push myself. Most of the situations we find ourselves in, I feel like they aren't as dangerous as it may appear." Since Raoul was part of the world beyond the portal, James didn't mention that the reason why he pushes himself in encounters with monsters is the sinking feeling he keeps having that none of them in his group are prepared for the world outside the walls of the underground city. Though their current request seems to be beyond their capabilities, James was thankful for the opportunity. "Though it's good that you're pushing yourself, you need to remember that our group is only strong together. The moment a member is removed from the group, the balance is shifted, and strain is placed on the others. Often, this imbalance isn't proportional to the member that was lost. This means that groups will quickly find themselves wiped out by the enemy, just because of the mistake of a single member," Raoul said, sharing his experience as an adventurer. "I understand that you are part of the people who are blessed to be able to return, but this shouldn't blind you of the dangers it causes on others." James nodded. "You're right. Just because the others and myself are able to come back after being killed doesn't mean we should be reckless."